Mic check one, mic check two. If you are watching this live stream back on the replay, take advantage of the chapters and skip ahead to the start of the show. I'm still setting up and giving people some time to tune in. Oh yeah, y'all can hear me today, right? Compared to yesterday and not having a sound on, we got it. We got that right. All right, let's go ahead and launch this social stream, Ninja. I hope you guys had an awesome day in life and an awesome day in the markets. Let's go ahead and get this launched. And I figured out what was going on with that, at least partially. I had the audio set up where you guys could hear it almost better than I could. So now we have that fixed. So let me make sure. There we go. So now you guys shouldn't hear it louder than I do. So we got that muted. Okay, cool. Now let's go ahead and share this stream over on Facebook, guys, and we can go ahead and start the show. And while I'm doing this, I'm gonna talk to you about the way I look, like how rugged. I ain't shaved. I'm a little ashy. Got my salt and pepper showing. So here's the thing. Since I've been going bald, my hair been growing faster. I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. I'm telling you, it's true. So I need a schedule. I need a schedule to shave the same way I have a schedule for everything else. So that's what's happening. I'm pushing it, guys. I'm pushing it. I'm pushing it out to tomorrow. Before we do the live stream tomorrow, I'm gonna shave. So my plan is to shave on Wednesday before the live streams and on Sunday before the live stream. That's gonna work out a lot better. That way I'm not shaving 3 times a week, trying not to look like I'm looking now. So I just need you to deal with it one more day and we'll be all right. So let me share this stream over on Facebook and then we can go ahead and get the show started. We are live. Yeah. All right. We've done that. I'm just waiting on the confirmation. There we go. Shared the profile. Okay. So we got that going. Let's go ahead and close this stuff out. Make sure we got everything else up that we need. Yep. Okay, good. And we are covering that. It's 11:01, so we're one. And I got my phone, guys. All right. So now that I got my phone, we can go back to doing the sponsors. Check that. See what's going on here. Come on now, load up so I can start the show. Okay, cool. I'm waiting on something, guys. Where is it? There we go. All right. So we're good. Let's go ahead and get the show started. Let's go. All right. Welcome to Market Recap Live. I'm your host, Joseph Martin, and thank God. Oh, thank God. It is Tuesday, guys. It is Tuesday. And tonight we are taking a look at ticker HD. You might know them better as Home Depot. Home Depot Incorporated was founded in 1978 by Bernard Marcus, Arthur Blank, Ron Brill, and Pat Farrar, with its first 2 stores opening in Atlanta, Georgia. Now they're publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange and have a market value over $300 billion. Yes, that's billion dollars. Home Depot is in the specialty retail industry in the consumer discretionary sector, and they are listed in the S&P 500 index. Some of Home Depot's competitors are Lowe's Companies Incorporated. Oh gosh. Now guys, give me 1 second. This phone just won't stop going off. And I have a setting in here that's supposed to automatically put this on mode and routines when I'm doing my live stream. And for some reason it did not do it. So let me do that. There we go. All right. And I think it was because I started the phone after it was supposed to do it. Anyway, that's not your concern. That's not your problem. I thought the phone would shut up, but it didn't. So let me back up and start this from the beginning, guys. Okay. Tonight, we are taking a look at ticker HD. You might know them better as Home Depot. The Home Depot Incorporated was founded in 1978 by Bernard Marcus, Arthur Blank, Ron Brill, and Pat Farrar, with his first two stores opening in Atlanta, Georgia. Now, they're publicly traded on the New York Stock Exchange and have a market value over $300 billion. Yes, that's billion dollars. Home Depot is in the specialty retail industry in the consumer discretionary sector, and they are listed in the S&P 500 index. Some of Home Depot's competitors are Lowe's Companies Incorporated, ticker LOW, Target Corporation, ticker TGT, and Walmart Incorporated, ticker WMT. We're going to review Home Depot's earnings, their website, and pull up the charts to perform a quick technical analysis. But before we do that, let's do our roll call and check our stream poll. We are streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Let's get this chat going and tell us where you're tuning in from. Put a YT in the chat if you're tuning in from YouTube, FB for Facebook, and an X for X. While you guys are filling up the stream and the chat, here's the mission statement. We are building a community over here for people who want to take control of their financial situation by learning how to unlock the wealth building power of the stock market. And we are streaming Monday through Friday following trading sessions at 11 p.m. Eastern time. The U.S. stock market regular trading hours are 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern time, and there's a link for the New York Stock Exchange calendar down in the description. Okay, let's get to it, guys. Let's get to these earnings highlights. Let's get to the earnings for Home Depot. Here we got a comment. Kenny Warren 8087 YouTube. Hey, appreciate you. Let me pull this up so everybody can see it. Take this down. We got Kenny Warren 8087 tuning in on YouTube. Appreciate you. Hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel. Greatly would appreciate it. It helps the community and it helps everybody get involved with this content. Appreciate you. All right, now let's go ahead and get these earnings done. Pull up earning. There we go. All right. Come on. Wait a minute. What just happened? Guys? Give me a second. Something got pushed that wasn't supposed to get pushed. We still streaming. That's good. So that didn't happen. Okay, cool. Earning. Got it. Prompt pedal. Okay, we're good. All right. The Home Depot Incorporated, ticker symbol HD, the $336.5 billion company, reported its second quarter 2026 earnings on Tuesday, August 18th. They have a 52-week high of $426.75, which took place on September 17th, and a 52-week low of $289.10 that occurred on May 19th, which is a trading range of $137.65. And they closed today at $337.49. Home Depot earnings report beat on the top line, reporting revenue of $47.9 billion, which was higher than the market expectations of $47.3 billion. And they beat on the bottom line as customer transactions stabilized alongside continued strength in professional contractor demand. EPS was higher than the analyst and market expectations of $4.73 when they reported an adjusted EPS of $4.92. The Home Depot Incorporated reported a GAAP net income of $4.8 billion, which is higher than the $4.6 billion net income they reported this same quarter last year. This represents an increase of 4.72%. So for the second fiscal quarter of 2025, their net profit was approximately 4.51% lower than it is compared to now a year later. The earnings were released before the market opened, followed by a 9 a.m. Eastern time conference call. As far as guidance, management expects full year fiscal 2026 comparable sales to be flat or up to 2%. That 52-week low compared to today's closing of $337.49 represents an increase of 16.74% over a span of approximately 3 months. So if someone invested $1,000 in May at that 52-week low of $289.10, they would be seeing a gain of $167.38. Woo. All right, guys, we did that. All right, now let's move on. Let's move on. So we go bam, bam, bam. Good. All right. Researching the company. Let's talk about why we visit these company websites. We're looking at the visuals and text to find answers to these key questions. What goods and or services does the company sell? How important are those goods and services to their customers? What makes this company stand out from the competition? And how well do they take care of their employees? Where we look, we search for those answers in four main areas. The homepage for the goods and or services, about us for purpose, vision, values, and mission statements, careers for employee benefits and opportunities, and investor relations for stock quotes, charts, and financial reports. And for your convenience, all companies featured in tonight's live stream are down in the description. Now let's go visit Home Depot's website. Yes, sir. Here we go. All right. Bam. Take that down, put the ticker back up. All right, guys, since Home Depot is in the consumer discretionary sector, you can bet your bottom dollar that everything we see on this homepage is going to get us to try to buy something. So let's just scroll over this and everything we need should be at the bottom of the page. So let's go. Sale, top category, sale, 1 week only, sale. Laundry detergent, washing machines, sinks, baskets, boxes, shelves, sale. Look at all this, shop by category. Look at this, electric, man, come on. Buy something, that's what they want. All right, and we can see their different brands down here at the bottom of the page. That's the fastest we ever went over a homepage. All right, so let's look to see where we need to go, guys. About us, here we go. So here's careers, here's investor relations, and I don't see something that would be like about us. They have an about us section, but not a about us page. All right, guys, so let's just go ahead and go to careers. And maybe they'll have all of that. Here it is, about the company. Good. Everything we need is right here. It's right up under careers. So we have about the company. We have a benefit. We have benefits. We have about us. So let's go ahead and browse over this page. And then we'll come to about us. And then we'll go to careers and benefits and all that other good stuff. So open jobs, find jobs around you, discover something unexpected, benefits, culture, military commitment, stay connected. Guys, we're at the bottom of the page. So let's go ahead and go to about us and see what that does. Here we go. Okay. Our culture. Why Home Depot? Because the best place we've ever built is where we work. Our values. We live by our values to guide how we work, to take care of our people, give back to our communities, and support our customers. So taking care of our people, respect for all people, do the right thing, build strong relationships, giving back, excellent customer service, creating shareholder value, and entrepreneurial spirit. Career growth. We're in the business of taking care of people, and that starts with supporting our associates, giving back. So here's some stats about giving back, I believe. We are the HD, awards and recognition. Got it. Okay, now, guys, we usually go to careers to find the benefits. So we're just going to go directly to benefits, and then we'll go to careers and see if they have anything different we might miss. So here are the benefits. Health insurance, time off, vacation. It's a lot of different stuff here. Remember, links to the website are also down in the description for your convenience. If I'm moving too fast or if it's something you want to browse over a little bit more, all right? So you have financial planning here. These are more benefits that they offer dealing with financial needs and discounts for associates, gym, electronics, food, and grocery. Okay, so we got that. Now, let's go back to the home page. We got some digging to go through. All right, here we go. Now we're going to go directly to careers. We browsed over this already. Yes, we did. All right, guys, we found the benefits. We went to about us. We went to benefits. Now we're going to go to investor relations. Let's go ahead and blow this up. And let's get this stock information so we can go ahead and go to the charts. Looking to see what we got up here. They have our story, so we didn't go over that, but at least you know where that is now. Investor relations. So here's the stock information. So let's browse over the page, and then we're going to go to the stock information. All right. And they also have it here as well, stock information. Key financial reports, news, related stories and articles, the Home Depot Foundation, upcoming events, sign up for email alerts, some more stats about the company. Did you know? And guys, we're at the bottom of the page. Okay, so let's go to stock information. Bam. It says stock quote and chart, but I don't see a thing. Do you? I don't see it. Historical price lookup. Oh, crap. Yeah, guys, this might be one of those websites where they don't even have this part set up all the way. And you'll be surprised because most people don't even know to go on the websites to look up this type of stuff. So this function looks like it's not even on their website. So I'm going to try another link to see if it does anything different. Remember up here where it says stock information, we click there. It takes us to the same thing. I'm going to go to About Us, Investor Relations, Stock Information. Come on, stock information, stock quote and chart. Yeah, guys, it's not even working on their website. Not me, it's them. So let's go ahead and move on. Let's talk about this about Home Depot. Let's go here. All right, clients and partners, guys. The Home Depot Incorporated does have clients and partners that are listed in the S&P 500. Some notable names include Stanley Black & Decker Incorporated, ticker SWK, Carrier Global Corporation, ticker CARR, and Masco Corporation, ticker MAS. Now, let's talk about this. Take that down, go here. All right, mobile limitation, guys. Before we look at the charts, remember, professionals trade from a computer, not a mobile device. Mobile trading apps are limited and don't have all the features that are available on full trading platforms. Now, let's look at the Home Depot Incorporated on the charts. Absolutely. So we go here, go there, go here, go there. We are good. And this chart is all out of whack. So let's fix it. Pro market close. Let's go to that grid. Adjust my monitor. We're going to go up here to the symbol box, guys, and we need to type in HD for Home Depot. So there we go. So HD is in the symbol box. We are looking at a 1-year daily chart for Home Depot. They have a 52-week high of $426.75. Here's that 52-week low of $289.10. And here is where they closed today at $337.49. Now, let's go ahead and look at a higher time frame. So let's take those things off the screen. And now we're looking at a 10-year weekly chart. And there is Home Depot. Now we need to verify 2016. So take me off the screen. Guys, here we go. 2016 is there. So here's their 10-year low of $119.20 and their 10-year high of $439.37. And that was at the end of 2024. It looks like the week of November 25th. All right. So based on where the price action is for Home Depot right now, guys, I really don't think we need to do anything else on this higher time frame. But I do see something that stands out to me. So I'm going to hurry up and do that. Let me put me back on the screen. Let's go take all of this stuff off. We really don't need that right now. And then I'm going to give you the 9-week simple moving average and the 200-week simple moving average. This right here is catching my attention. Okay. Now, it wasn't perfectly respected a few times, but it's near it. It's enough to be significant from what I'm seeing. So that's $373.88 that I'm seeing on the higher time frame. All right, now let's get our 9-week simple moving average and our 200-week simple moving average. So our 9-week simple moving average is at $342.87. And our 200-week simple moving average is at $349.29. We have enough price levels here on our higher time frame for us to go ahead and focus on our 1-year daily chart. Okay, so let's go ahead and go there. Bam. We don't need this. This was just from the low to today's low because I need to know how many days that was. So that's about 3 months from that 52-week low. So let's remove that drawing and we can focus on what's going on. Guys, we had a rickshaw man candle form today. It didn't know which way it wanted to go, up or down. It came up and tested the 9. And what's interesting here, guys, is that we have the 9-day simple moving average and the 200-day simple moving average almost at the same price points. So that's significant. I use those as supports and resistance, and we can see that it held today because that wick did come up to test that today. So the 9-day simple moving average is at $345.53. The 200-day simple moving average is at $346.66. Now, it looks like they recently had a gap, a couple of gaps, but that gap held as support. So let me go ahead and zoom in. Home Depot has gapped a few times, but what I'm looking at, guys, when we use these crosshairs, I'm going to use this rectangle tool. This gap right here between July 22nd and July 23rd, that gap has been filled, but it looks like it held as support today. So let's extend this out to January 1st, 2027, and you can see what I'm saying. See the wick? So here's today's candle. It came down and it tested that previous gap. Okay. So let me put those price levels there. So let's undo that. Go here and we're going to get the price level. So here's the low end of that gap coming in at $328.23. Here's the top end of that gap, or the top of that window, coming in at $330.71. So we have that as potential support. I'm liking this right here as potential support if it makes it through there. And it's not that far away. Like it's a $5 difference. So it's up to you how you want to go about that. But I'm going to go ahead and use the rectangle tool, and I'm going to do it as a support zone. So I use the low of July 24th and the low of June 23rd. Change the color of this to this. Then we're going to extend this out to January 1st, 2027, and then take this back to January 1st, 2026. Let's do that. Bam. And then we can see how it's responding to that support zone. Okay, so that's what I got there. And it was another gap back here. You see it between May 1st. I'm looking at the screen to see if you guys can see it. Between May 1st and May 4th, there was another gap. I'm gonna expand it so you can see it a little more. Drag this up. Right here, guys, between these two candles. Right here, these two candles right there. And that's where it found support again on a previous gap. Okay, we have enough supports, guys, so I'm looking to see where we have resistance. I'm seeing resistance on that 9-day simple moving average, the 200-day simple moving average, and they're almost at the same spot. Then I'm seeing resistance at the 352.02. And then if it gets above that, I'm liking this right here as resistance as well. Because Home Depot is not that volatile. It's not that volatile. Come on now. All right, so let me show you what I mean. I'm liking this as potential resistance. Yep, right there. All right, edit properties, lighten this up, bam, extend this over, January 1st, 2027, back this up a little bit. January 1st, 2026, yes. All right, there we go. And just so you can see those price levels, that's the top. Where's the bottom? There's the bottom. Got it. All right, guys, so we can go ahead and get our stock quote for Home Depot and move on. I'm gonna extend this back. I didn't do this one on this one. It's bothering me. So let me fix this. Take it back to January 1st, 2026. There we go. It's balanced out, guys. All right, let's go ahead and get our stock quote for Home Depot. So let's go up here to the settings. Go up to the settings, click on the floating data box, click apply. Okay, now Home Depot opened today at $336.78. They had a high of $344.54. They had a low of $330.69, and they closed today at $337.49, which is a trading range of $13.85. Now let's talk about the volume. Guys, they traded 6.6 million shares of this stock today. Is that a big deal? Is that a little deal? We're about to find out. So let's go ahead and go back to our settings, cut off the floating data box, take me off the screen. And now when we come over here, we can see the average daily trading volume for Home Depot in a daily trading session is 4.2 million shares. Today they did 6.6 million. So that's above average on this rickshaw man candle. Okay, right there. Now, here is Monday's volume, guys. This candle right here. They traded 5.5 million. If you want to round it up, it's 5.6 million. So we saw an increase in volume coming into today's earnings. And the earnings were announced today before market open. So they had time to actually respond to those earnings because it wasn't announced after market. Okay, so we got that. Put me back on the screen. Now, let's talk about the volume percentile, guys. So out of the most recent 252 trading days, guys, today's volume was higher than 93.3% of those trading days volumes. To be exact, only 17 of those days had higher volume than today. So that's what we have, guys, for the Home Depot. That's what we have. So let's go ahead and go here and move on. Bam, 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 and bam. Got it. All right. Community support. Back to the community. I would appreciate it very much if you guys share the stream, hit the like button, subscribe, and if you wish to send a monetary gift to support the content, Cash App and PayPal links are down in the description as well as on the ticker on the screen. And it takes $10 to become the first sponsor of tonight's show. And I have my phone tonight, so we can go ahead and do that tonight, unlike what we was doing before, because I ain't have it, but we good. All right, so let's talk about the S&P 500 index. Now let's look and see what the S&P 500 index did today by using the SPY ETF. This ETF gives investors an opportunity to participate in the broader U.S. market by allowing them to own a percentage of each company inside the S&P 500 index. So let's go back to the charts. Let's go. All right, so we go here, and we got the ticker for it. Okay, guys, so what we need to go to is right here to our symbol box, type in SPY, bam. So we got the SPY pulled up. Let's go ahead and go through it. So we have the SPY put in the symbol box. We're looking at a 1 year daily chart for the SPY, guys. And here is their 52-week low of $629.28. Here's their 52-week high of $779.37. And they closed today at $767.45. So what we're going to do, want to go to a higher time frame. So now we are looking at the 10-year weekly chart for the SPY. Here's 2016. So we do have 10 years. Here's their 10-year low of $208.38. Their 10-year high of $779.37, which is also our current 52-week high. Okay, now before we go back down to the lower time frame, guys, I want to point out where our 9-week simple moving average is, and it is coming in at $752.78. Our 200-week simple moving average is coming in at $553.93. Okay, so we have that. Now let's go back down to our lower time frame so we can go back to our 1 year daily chart, and let's zoom in on the current price action. Zoom in on the current price action. And you know something that's interesting, guys, since we cover this every day, and I love the fact that we cover this every day because we get to see if our levels are accurate. We get to see if it's actually responding to the levels that we put up, because we're not operating from a hindsight perspective, because we're looking at the SPY every day. So immediately what I'm noticing is what we were talking about. They're calling this a flag. I was saying that this looks like the trend has changed. So the trend is going sideways. It did break out of the trend and make this new 52-week high, but then the candle closed the very next day right back inside that box. In this trend, this sideways trend, the trend had changed because of this candle pattern right here that I was talking about, which is a dark cloud cover. That dark cloud cover is a reversal pattern, but reversal doesn't mean up to down. It just means pay attention, the trend might change. And we can see that the trend went from up, which was here, to sideways, okay? Once it started doing that, what I was pointing out was, guys, the longer it's trend sideways, the longer it trends sideways, the more time this 9-day simple moving average has to catch up to this price action, okay? So the 9-day simple moving average today is at $772.47. Our 200-day simple moving average is at $706.28. So what we realized yesterday on Monday was that candle actually closed just below the 9-day simple moving average that day, okay? So when I mouse over it, we can see the stats for that day, yesterday, Monday, right? So they closed on Monday at $772.67, but the 9-day simple moving average was at $772.73 that day. So it closed a few cents below that simple moving average on Monday. And that could have been confirmation to the downside because somebody was using, or people were using, the 9 as support. And what ended up happening, the SPY gapped down. The SPY gapped down. So what we're going to do, we're going to highlight that gap, but we're not going to put the price levels there. I am going to let you know what they are, but we're not going to actually put them on the chart. And the reason why is because we have a lot of levels on here already. I'm liking this as a support and resistance zone. Like, these are my main levels right now. If we added another one in the middle of it, we'd be penny pinching like every $2 or $3. I don't want to do that. So let's go ahead and do this and use the rectangle tool once I pull it up. So we're using the low of Monday and the high of today. And we're going to extend this gap, you already know, out to January 1st, 2027. So that's our gap. And I'm going to open the properties up so you can see what those price levels are, even though I'm not going to put them on the chart. So the low of that gap or window is $769.50. The high of that gap or window is $772.51. So that's the gap that we have right now. And notice how it responded to our support we had here. So our support is at $767.46. It broke support, but we need to confirm whether or not it closed below support. So I'm expanding this just a little bit, and we can go ahead and remove those. And we're going to see where this closed at today. And since we're going to do that, let's go ahead and go through all of that when we do our floating. Let's get the stock quote, because we'll find out where it closed just going ahead and do the stock quote for the SPY. So we can get all of that done at once, okay? So the SPY opened today at $768.70. They had a high of $769.50. They had a low of $766.92. This is crazy, guys. And they closed today at $767.45. Guys, that's 1 penny below our support level we have on this chart. 1 penny. Our support is at $767.46. Let me go ahead and box that in again. That's our support. And right here, they closed. I'm looking for something. They closed. Let me take this up higher. Let's go here instead. They closed at $767.45, guys. That's what they ended up doing. That is crazy. Just 1 penny below that support. All right, which was a trading range of $2.58. Now let's talk about the volume, because again, the volume on the SPY is nuts right now. This is crazy to me, but at least it's not in the 30 million. So today, the SPY traded 43.9 million shares of this ETF. Is that a big deal? Is that a little deal? Don't worry about it. We about to find out. So let's go ahead and cut the floating data box off. Let's take me off the screen. And let's talk about the average daily volume in a trading session for the SPY. Guys, 70.4 million. That's what they usually trade on average. The time frame for this, guys, is 242 candles. 252, I'm sorry. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and confirm this. Go up to my settings. Volume, edit, 252, 252. Not here. We go to here. We go here. Edit sources. 252. Yes, guys, 252 trading days. Just wanted to make sure. 252. 252 trading days. That's what we're looking at with this average volume, okay? So that's a nice amount of time to get that average. That's a nice amount of time. And these trading days recently up here at these price levels have been trading in the 30 millions. And you can see, so here's Monday's volume. So that's this candle right here. They traded 34.3 million on Monday. Today, they traded 43.9. So we do see an increase in volume, but both of those trading days are still below average, okay? And as I mouse over these candles, let me cut back on our floating data box. You know where to look. Look at the bottom box as I mouse over these candles. And you can see the trading volume down there. 34 on Monday, 31 on Friday, 35 on Thursday, 33 on Wednesday, 36 on Tuesday, 39 on Monday. It's been trading in the 30 millions. Volume been low up here at these highs near this new 52-week high that they had recently, and that was on Thursday of last week. All right, let's finish wrapping up talking about the volume. So guys, the volume percentile, let me cut off the floating data box right here. Whew. So out of the most recent 252 trading days volumes, guys, today's volume on this candle was only higher than 14.7% of those trading days volumes. To be exact, only 37 of those trading days had lower volume than today. So that's what we have for the SPY, guys. So let's go ahead and move on. So we can go here, here, take that down, go here. Yeah, we are good. If we use this so you can see me, then we good. All right, now sector performance tracker. Time to follow the money. Let's look at each sector inside the S&P 500 index to see how they perform today. Okay, let's do that. Let's go back to the charts. Let's go here, pull the sector performance tracker thing up. Once I pull up the right stream, that's it. And we do this. Cool. All right, so what we need to do, guys, we need to open up our grid. Our grid is the sector performance grid. Take these arrows off. I'm on the screen. Cool. Guys, I need to pull up our notes and I need to make sure that they're right. So let me put me on the screen momentarily and let me get our notes together. Okay. Give me 1 second because I don't know how this is going to pop up on the screen. I want to make sure it's right before I bring you guys over. Bam. It won't take that long. Give me 1 second. Time frame 17 to the 21st. Yes. So there we go. That's our notes. Go here. Cool. I think we're good. So I'm going to bring you over so you can see where we're at. So we go here. Bam, bam, and bam. And we can minimize these and come back to it. Cool. All right. We're ready. So let's talk about the percentage change for the SPY and all of the 11 sectors, okay, inside the SPY. So the SPY is down 0.7%. Energy is up 1.8%. Materials is down 0.9%. Industrials is down 1.5%. Consumer discretionary is down 0.3%. Consumer staples is up 1.1%. Healthcare is up 1.6%. Financials is up 0.5%. Information technology is down 2.5%. Communication services is down 0.3%. Utilities is down 0.4%. And real estate is down 0.5%. So let's do this. Here we go, guys. So here is our watch list of the SPY and those 11 sectors. And it's in descending order. So we have our top 3 gainers at the top. Here is our notes. Here are our notes. And I already have them filled out. So let's go ahead and go over it. So our number 1 gainer for today, guys, is energy, up 1.76%. Our number 2 gainer for today is healthcare, up 1.6%. And consumer staples. Consumer staples is our number 3 gainer, up 1.06%. Now let's talk about our 3 biggest losers. Information technology, guys, is our number 1 loser today, down 2.47%. Industrials down 1.48% is our number 2 loser, and our number 3 loser is materials, and they are down 0.88%. Now, since we have a couple of days this week, we can start to look and track to see what's been standing out. So let's go ahead and select this to put that on both. And let's start going through the sectors, starting with communication services. So communication services was our number 1 loser on Monday. Consumer discretionary was our number 3 loser on Monday. Consumer staples was our number 2 loser on Monday and our number 3 gainer today. Energy was our number 1 gainer on Monday and today. Okay, so energy. Financials, a little quiet this week. Healthcare, our number 2 gainer today. Industrials, they were our number 3 gainer on Monday, and even as being the 3rd gainer on Monday, they still showed a loss because they lost the least out of all the losers, which made them the number 3 gainer, if that makes sense to you. All right, and then today they were the number 2 loser. So they were red on both of those positions. All right, now information technology was our number 2 gainer on Monday and our number 1 loser today. And that loss is way bigger than that gain they gave us on Monday, way bigger than the gain they gave us on Monday, this loss they gave us today. Okay, so materials is our number 3 loser today. We got real estate, they're quiet, and then we got utilities, and they're quiet. Okay, so we went through our notes, guys. We following the money. So now we can go here. So let's go here. Tonight, Bella, I'm so glad that you are here. Let me pull your chat up. I appreciate you. So let's go ahead and pull up your chat. Tonight, Bella. Loyal viewer, man, I appreciate you. Here we go, chat. It's a night, Bella. Good evening. I hope you had an awesome day in life and an awesome day in the markets. Hope the family is doing well. Always a pleasure to get a chat from you. And I believe you mentioned something about Reddit, and I've been keeping an eye on it. And yesterday, I think they ended up being our biggest loser. Man. They took a hit yesterday. I didn't watch them today. And am I right? Did you mention something about Reddit being added to the S&P 500? Correct me if I'm wrong. Somebody mentioned it. I believe it was you. Okay, so let's go ahead and keep the show going. Wait on him to respond back. So let's go ahead and go back to the charts after I tell you what we about to focus on. So this is what we about to do, guys. Biggest gainers and losers. Now let's look at the S&P 500 biggest gainer and loser of the day. But first, we're going to look at the loser so we can end the night on a high note. We got the chat. Yes, I did. Yes, it was tonight, Bella. So my memory does not lead me astray with that. Yeah, appreciate it. I'm glad you shared that with the community because it doesn't mean they're going to keep going down. I wonder if this is a good buy on it. I wonder too. And the reason why I'm saying that is because we never know. Something could happen, something crazy could happen, some good news could come out. It's always the catalyst. It's the news, man, that ends up throwing off whatever you think you might have. So what I'm learning is no matter how confident you are, it's always best to have some type of plan in place if something go wrong. That's what I'm learning. That's in my opinion, what helps traders and investors the most is having a plan for when things don't go according to plan or work out the way they think. Like they got a bullish sentiment and it ends up going against them. If they hedge the position or had some type of contingency in place, whether that was a stop loss, hedging, using options or something to offset those losses and cut those losses short, that's what it's all about. It's risk management. And I wish more people would talk about that, like go into risk management stuff. But I haven't looked at it today. I just know that we covered it yesterday and looked at a couple technicals on Reddit because they ended up being our biggest loser as soon as they ended up trading on the S&P 500. And it could have been people was just jumping in, trying to hurry up and ride that quick jump. And then when we looked at the technicals, it was something about the technicals that showed it was resistance right there as well. So it could have been a confluence, a combination of a few different things. But yeah, I appreciate you sharing that with the community too, letting us know to keep an eye on it. Because after Palantir had got added to the S&P 500, it went crazy. It went crazy after it got added to the S&P 500. So let me go ahead and go back to the show before I lose my train of thought, because I got the rambling, didn't I? Okay. All right. So let's go back to the charts. Here we go. Back on the chart. Appreciate you, Snipe Bella. All right. Now let's go ahead and go to pro market closed. Yes. Then we're going to go to the market watch tab. And we're going to our biggest loser. Okay, guys, our biggest loser for today is Coherent Corporation. And you know what? We just covered them. If I'm not mistaken, we covered them on August 10th. What just happened? It looked like the system had froze. But yeah, I think we just covered them on August 10th. I can actually confirm that. Let me confirm that real quick. You guys don't need to see me confirm it. So let me move this over here because we're done with that. Let me pull it up. Sector, nope. Market recap. Market recap. Give me a second, guys. I believe so. It's sector performance. Which one is it? Oh, I know what's wrong. Okay, the ticker is COHR. Let me put this date in here. So let's put in August 1st. And this will search my notes and tell me, yeah, guys, August 10th, Monday. We covered them on August 10th on Monday. So that's when we did technicals on Coherent the last time we covered them. So they lost 12 points. I got some stuff going on, guys. Give me a second. They lost 12.75% today. Their previous close was $351.22, and they closed today at $306.43. Coherent did. All right. That's what happened with Coherent. We got the ticker up. Let's do a hypothetical. So here is our calculator. Let's use a different number today because so let's use 7,200, something weird, 7,200. So somebody invested $7,200 and they lost 12.75%. Negate that, hit the percentage change. Guys, they would have lost $918 of their $7,200 investment. So let's add the $7,200 back to it, the principal, and it'll tell us how much they would have left of that. They have $6,282 left of their investment. All right. So now let's take this stuff off the screen and we're going to go over to our analyze tab, and Coherent Corporation is in the information technology sector. So we're going to look and see how that sector performed, the industry performed, and the sub industry performed. And if you've been paying attention to our notes, when we went over to the sector performance tracker, guys, you should already know. And I'm going to pull this up real quick. These are notes. Information technology. Guys, they were our #1 loser today. And Coherent is a company that's in the information technology sector. So they added to them losses, basically. So let's go ahead and look at Coherent and these other sectors, industries, et cetera, et cetera. So let's go ahead and go to Market Watch. Then we go to the Visualize tab. Let's back all. First of all, let's go on the right watch list. So there's the S&P 500 watch list. We can take down the sponsor for right now because it's going to block some of the stuff that we're looking at. So take that down. Okay. And now we're looking at the information technology sector. Guys, that's right here. Bam. And we're looking for Coherent. Now, if their ticker symbol is small, guys, they might be hard to find. Okay. So here's how I would find them if this is going to be difficult. Okay. So what I would do, I would go right over here and just use a different watch list. So G&L, I have Home Depot in there. So we go to quotes, then we change this watch list to personal G&L, change this to Coherent, COHR. Now that we did that, we go back to the visualize tab and we just pull that up. There they are. They're in information technology. They're in electronic equipment, instruments, and components. So that's the industry that they're in. So now we can go back to S&P 500. It's already dropped down. Then we go to information technology right here and we're looking for electronic equipment and instruments right here. So we click on that and there is Coherent right here. Look at that. Everything red. That whole industry did bad today, guys. And here's the sub industry. Electronic components is the sub industry, and they all did bad. So yeah, guys, it was a bloodbath in the information technology sector, boy. Now there's another way we can break this down and see how many of the information technology companies advanced and how many of them declined today. So what we can do, we can go up here, go to index watch, take me back off the screen. And then I'll pull up a watch list that just has all of the companies in the information technology sector. And we can read that right here. So you have 25 advancing and 49 declining. So 2/3, guys, basically. You got 1/3 advancing, 2/3 declining. Here are all the companies in the information technology sector. Crazy. So let's go back to the Analyze tab. And we need to have Coherent here, not Home Depot. COHR. All right. So we looked at that. Now we'll talk about the company profile before we visit their website. So Coherent Corporation is the official company name. Here's a link to their website. It's also down in the description for your convenience. And let's read a little bit about the company. Coherent Corporation develops, manufactures, and markets lasers, transceivers, other optical and optoelectronic devices, modules, and systems worldwide. Got it. Put me back on the screen. Take this down. Go to their website. And guys, we're good. We are good. Let's look around and see what we have to go to, where we have to go. All right. So when we go to company, we go to About Us, that's a hyperlink, and then we go to Investor Relations, that's a hyperlink, and then we go to Careers. So guys, everywhere we need to go is right at the top, but we're going to browse over their website first. So precision manufacturing, well metals and heat thermoplastic composites with efficiency. With efficiency, high throughput and reduced costs. What else do we have? Semi-cap equipment. I'm going to read this a little faster. And display manufacturing. NVIDIA and Coherent. So I believe that's a client and partner. Building the infrastructure for the AI era. There's the CEO for NVIDIA. Recognize him. Shining a light on Coherent. That's the Mad Money guy. I can't think of his name right now. If you know him, put his name in the comments. Can't think of his name right now, but I know that's the Mad Money guy. We harness photons to drive innovation, markets, data center and communications, industrial, precision manufacturing, semiconductor and display capital equipment, automotive and energy solutions, instrumentation. It looks like some of these are open or those are drop downs. Press releases and events, highlights, and there's videos on here as well too, guys. So you can use the links down in the description if you want to dig through those. All right, so let's go ahead and go to About Us. So here we go. I think I know his name, Kramer, something Kramer. All right. So we harness photons to drive innovation. Hey, we got a comment. Appreciate you. About to pull it up. So pull this down, put me back on the screen for a moment. We don't need that up. Michael Anthony. Jim Cramer, appreciate you. Yeah, I knew it. I'm like, and then, you know what? And then when I thought of the Kramer, you know what popped in my head? Jerry Seinfeld Kramer. That dude's a nut. I know he ain't got nothing to do with one or another, just the names of something like that. But yeah, he be on it. As far as like how he be yelling and all that other crazy mad money. Yeah, tomorrow, big day, FMOC minutes. Okay, so Night Bella, tomorrow, big day. Appreciate you for that. And that's going to be Wednesday. I hate the FMOC. I hate it. You know, and it may be important. It may matter. It may actually matter. But to me, I always look and just see how Target earnings Thursday and Walmart. Yeah. And we're covering Target tomorrow. And I believe we're covering Walmart Thursday. So that's on the channel. So we are going to cover those. And I don't remember who we're covering Friday, but all the schedule is already, you know, of course, laid out on the channel. But whoever we're covering on Friday is going to be after they announce, because there's no S&P 500 earnings being released on Friday, if I'm not mistaken, when we did the weekly recap live. But thank you so much for sharing that with the community, because that might help somebody out. That might help somebody out with the FMOC. And I'm trying to think of try to remember what that stands for, because it escapes me, the FOMC. Yeah, I would have to look it up. I try to remember it, just like we try to remember can't even think of what that stands for. When we're looking at the different locations, like some of the abbreviations, I try to make sure I say them all the way out instead of saying FM, because I'm going to forget what it stands for. But yeah, if you can help me with that, break that down. What do you think about LZB earning after the close? I'm going to have to look that up. Because I'm not even familiar with that is. Matter of fact, I'll look it up right now. And then we got to get back to the show, guys, because I done got to talking and we all off right now. I don't even remember where we are with Coherent. Let me pull this up right quick. What was that? LZB. Lazy Boy Incorporated. Oh, okay. Are they in the S&P? I'm not sure. Charts. Yeah, I'm not sure. When it comes to these companies, you can do your technicals, you can do your I'm drawing a blank about the other one. It's another name for it, man. I'm all over the place. Technical and that fundamentals, the fundamental analysis. We're doing the qualitative analysis because we're looking at the website and the quality, the other things that they're doing as a company, how they present themselves to the customer. But yeah, and it could just be that people are looking at the stock being overvalued. They could just be like, you know what, it's a good time to sell because it trades in a range. And then you have the beta, the BETA, because that stock isn't that volatile. Like it had something crazy going here the last time they had earnings. So it looks like they came down, tested the 200, and then they shot up here to 44. Federal Open Market. Thank you. Federal Open Market Committee. Yeah, it was something. Yeah, because I was thinking, yeah, thank you. Thank you for that. FOMC, Federal Open Market Committee. I try to remember that, but all I can remember is FOMC because that's usually what people say all the time. But yeah, I really don't have no opinion on this one. This would be something I would really need to dive into, but you let me know what you think. What do you think is going to happen with Lazy Boy based off what you've seen? And they announced earnings after market today. Oh, so they're going to respond to that today. Got you. So they're going to respond. Well, you can look at what's going on now. That's it. That's easy. You can look at, they already gapped down. You can see it right here. They already gapped down. They gapped down on earnings after it was announced. So if we go to extended hours, you can see that right here. And I need to go back to the website. I appreciate the comment, but yeah, they already gapped down. It was all a matter of just looking at when they actually made the announcement. But just glancing at this chart, this doesn't look like a chart that people trade often. And I'm gonna point that out to you by looking at this. Let me go back to that comment. Who left that comment? Right here, Michael Anthony. So let me show you what I mean by that. If I take me off the screen and then we got to get back to Coherent right here, guys. the average trading volume. This is something to keep in mind when it comes to trading certain companies. It makes, depending on what that person's goal is, whether they're investing or they're trading, they need to make sure that it's enough volume when it comes to trading that in particular company. Lazy Boy trades. I see you. I'm about to pull that comment up. Trading. So like I said, it depends on the strategy. I don't know what your strategy is. And even if I knew, it's still nuances. But the main thing I'm giving you right here to explain, if someone is a trader, they need volume. They need volume in a short period of time because they don't plan on staying in the trade long, right? So trading a company that trades less than 1 million shares, there's not a lot of liquidity. So this is not something, in my opinion, that someone would be trying to trade. Now, if they were trying to do it as an investment, then you would look at the higher, in my opinion, the higher time frame and look for buying opportunities on a higher time frame, because that, you see the pat, like it has swings of up and down, up and down. So if it was to come down here, just looking at the technicals, it would seem like a buying opportunity around here. And then you look at the beta. So look up beta, because different companies have different betas. And I'm gonna pull this comment and I'm gonna get back to what we were looking at. Put me back on the screen. I saw shares down, but still could be a chance to buy that top brand. And that's another thing. Just looking at the name of the brand doesn't mean that it's not overvalued right now. And then it could be a bargain. Like there's a couple books. I'm not sure if you're into reading books, but I'm gonna give you some suggestions. Read some of Peter Lynch books, like Beating the Street, Learn to Earn, and One Up on Wall Street. I think that's all 3 of them. And he was talking about one of the best investments he ever did, which was Taco Bell. So it was like looking at the company and seeing a company at a bargain. It could get cheaper. So if something was on sale, let's say for $20, and you like, oh man, that's a steal. If it go down to 15, it's a better bargain. But some people like, dog, I'm losing money because I started buying it at 20 and now it's 15. But in reality, if the research about what you did hasn't actually changed, the stock price just went down, it's actually a better deal. So it's a lot of different things that we need to look at, and it all depends on the company, then it depends on the sector, the industry, and all that other stuff. That's why we're looking at these different things, and like looking at the website, finding out if they're laying off employees, find out if they're closing stores. Like all of those different things could leave clues. But thank you so much for the comment, and it could play out the way you're saying, but I'm saying this is how we look at multiple things. We don't just try to focus on one thing. And it's different things we need to look at depending on the individual's strategy. So that's something that stands out to me too, when people have videos of like this famous or well-known trader giving advice or giving his opinion on individuals without even asking them what their strategy is. And finding out if their strategy even works. It's just be like, yeah, it matters. Like all of those different things matters. So where were we, guys? Because we all over the place. Where were we? Let's just pick up. We harness photons to drive innovation. Coherent is the global photonics leader. We harness photons and drive innovation. Industry leaders in the data center, communications, and industrial markets rely on Coherent's world-leading technology to fuel their own innovation and growth. Okay, about us, executive leadership, our locations, environmental, quality, ISO certificates, our people, culture, investor relations. Okay, guys, I think that was about us. So let's go to careers and see if we can find the benefits. I think I looked at this earlier, guys, and I could not find the benefits. I couldn't find it. And I don't know. Yep, I couldn't find it because when we go to Life Coherent, they didn't have it there either. So we're not going to waste no time with that. So it actually was good you guys was asking questions, because it's a lot of this stuff this company don't even have on their website. So like if we go to investor relations, they don't have the stock quote. They don't have the stock quote or the chart. So let's speed this up a little bit. They have SEC filings, investor presentations, but they do not have the chart and the stock quotes. I looked earlier. So we can go ahead and move on. Let's go ahead and take the chat down. Let's do this a different way. Let's make it smoother. Let's do that. Then we pull up the company. So it's Biggest Loser. Then we can go here. Then we pull up the charts. No, we need to go here and talk about this before we go. Okay. So Coherent Corporation, ticker COHR. When it comes to their goods and services, guys, they manage photonics and materials manufacturing across the industrials, communications, and electronics markets, offering solutions such as, number one, complete laser options, including semiconductor lasers and fiber lasers for industrial manufacturers. Number two, scalable optical networking products, including transceivers, amplifiers, and switches for cloud providers. And number three, optimized engineered material systems tailored for silicon carbide optics and water processing. Okay. Looking at their S&P 500 clients and partners, notable names include Cisco Systems Incorporated, ticker CSCO, Applied Materials Incorporated, ticker AMAT, and Broadcom Incorporated, ticker AVGO. Let's look at Coherent Corporation on the charts. So here we go. Bam. Yeah, guys, we're good. Now, remember, we covered them on August 10th. So we have some technicals for them already on the charts. This is Lazy Boy. Let's put in COHR. I was about to say, now I know we covered this company. All right. So let's go back to the lower time frame. So this is what we have, guys. We got Coherent pulled up. Here's the 1 year daily chart. Here's their 52-week low of $84.35. Here's their 52-week high of $440. And here is where they closed today at $306.43. Okay. So now that we have that, let's go ahead and look at the higher time frame. And guys, these price levels are based off of the 1 year daily chart. Like, we don't have any price levels we really need to look at outside of this year until we get down here to this zone. So we're pretty good here, but let's go ahead and talk about this. So now we're looking at a 10-year weekly chart. Here's the 10-year low. Let's make sure this 2016. We have that 10-year low of $19, 10-year high of $440, which is also our 52-week high. So we have that. Now our 9-week simple moving average is at $319.19. Here is our 200-week simple moving average coming in at $106.83. And just to make sure, because I'm not sure I'm talking so fast, this should be a 9-week simple moving average at $319.19, because we're looking at a 10-year weekly chart. These bars are weeks. So we're good here on this higher time frame, guys. Let's go ahead and go back down to our 1 year daily chart and start looking at our technicals. Guys, put me back on the screen. It stalled out today right there in the middle of that previous gap we had on the charts. So let me go ahead and zoom in so you can see what I'm talking about. Right here, this red part, a red zone, was our previous gap between August 3rd and August 4th. Now, what we didn't do last time we looked at this when we talked about this gap, guys, was fill it. So on August 6th, it started to fill that gap, but we were, I think, pressed for time that night. So we kept that gap there, and I'm glad we did. Now, here's something that I noticed when I was peeking at this earlier. Like where it stopped at right here, I could have sworn. Okay, yeah, right here. You see this double bottom? So on these day candles. So if we were to put a price level here, guys, that's where it found support at today. You see, it came down to test that $304.77, this double bottom right here. Then you can see it responded to it over here. Take me off the screen so you can see it. Over here, that price level was responded to as well. So it looked like it just was in the middle of that gap. But looking over using the crosshairs, we were seeing there was other candles, day candles, that responded to that level as support. Okay. So it's starting to fill that gap. It could potentially have follow through to come down. And if it does that, I'm looking for it to find support. Where it found support at, we have the $300 price point, which is a psychological price level around the 299.09. And then the bottom of that gap coming in at 293.04. If none of that holds, I'm seeing these two as support down here, the support zone here and the 200-day simple moving average. As far as resistance, guys, this right here. So let me pull up that zone. So that resistance zone has a low of 320. The top of that zone is 327.78. So nothing much has changed since we looked at this last time, based on the fact that it's starting to come down. But if we looked at it on the 10th, these are the candles that weren't formed yet. So this was the 10th. So we had this huge bearish engulfing pattern here. That's what we had here the last time we covered it. We can put me back on the screen. I could have been did that. But anyway, that's what we have for Coherent and our technicals, guys. So let's go ahead and break down or share or talk about our 9-day simple moving average. So our 9-day simple moving average is at $337.05. Our 200-day simple moving average is at $267.48. And guys, right now it's trading around $300, $6 lower than where it closed at today. So if it's already at $300, guys, it's down here at that support level right here at that 299.09, around that psychological level of $300 I was just talking about. That's where it's trading at now in the extended hours. But let's go ahead and get our stock quote for Coherent, and we can talk about the volume and move on. Okay, so go to settings, come on our floating data box, apply, mouse over today's candle. So guys, what we have here is that Coherent opened today at $324.61. They had a high of $329.44. They had a low of $305.05, and they closed today at $306.43, which was a trading range of $23.94. Guys, when we look at the trading volume, they traded 9.6 million shares of this stock today. Is that a big deal? Is that a little deal? We're about to find out. So let's go ahead and cut off our floating data box. Take me off the screen. We can take off some of this other stuff we have up here too. So guys, the average trading volume for Coherent in a daily trading session, guys, is 5.6 million shares. Today, they traded 9.6 million. So they almost did twice as much as they normally do. They almost did double what they normally do today. So that's a significant increase in volume, and we'll definitely break that down in a minute. So what I want to focus on now is the previous volume. So this is Monday's volume, guys, this green candle right here. So that volume was 8.6 million. So both of those were above average, and we're seeing an increase in volume, and both of those are above average, to say that again. Okay, now put me back on the screen, and now let's talk about the volume percentile. Guys, out of the most recent 252 trading days, today's volume, so this candle right here, that red one, we already have that pointed out on, was only higher. Well, wait a minute. I'm talking too fast because I was trying to get that together. Today's volume on this candle was higher than 93.3% of the most recent 252 trading days volumes. And only 17 of those days had higher volume than today. That's how I wanted to say it, and I said it. All right. So we have that, guys. So we can go ahead and move on. So now we're going to look for the biggest gainer, guys. So let's go up here to the Market Watch tab. And we got all of this crazy. So let's back this up so we'll have that ready when we get back there. Go back to our quotes sub tab. We're going to pull back up the S&P 500 watch list and put this in descending order. Guys, the biggest gainer for today is ticker TRGP, Targa Resources Corporation. Okay, They gained 7.13% today. Their previous close was $277.94. They closed today at $297.77. Let's do our hypothetical, pull our calculator back up. We are using $7,200. So let's say somebody got that 7.13% gain. We hit that percentage change. Guys, they would have gained $513.36. Let's add that back to our principal, $7,200. Bam. So the total investment would have grown to $7,713.36. Woo! All right. Bada boom, bada bing. We got that. All right. Now let's select Targa and go to analyze, the analyze tab. Guys, they're in the energy sector. So we're going to see how that sector performed, the industry performed, the sub-industry performed that Targa Resources Corporation is inside of. So let's go back to the Market Watch tab. We're going to go to the Visualize sub tab. Take me off the screen. And guys, we are looking for energy. Energy is over here, guys. Right here. And I'm seeing way more green than red. How about you? I'm seeing way more green than red. TRGA, where you hiding at? Right here, guys. There they are. So they are in the oil, gas, and consumable fuels industry. Now, what sub-industry are they in? They're in the oil and gas exploration and production. No, they're not. Talking too fast. They're down here. TRGP, down here, guys. They're in the oil and gas storage and transportation sub-industry. And that's all green. So let's go over here to the left-hand side of the screen and break this down. So here is the sub-industry. Here is the industry. And here is the sector. So we have that, guys. Now, I'm interested to see how many of the companies are advancing and declining in the energy sector, like we looked at with the information technology. So let's go ahead and check that out. So let's go up here to heat map, change this to index watch, take me off the screen. We need to change this watch list to the watch list for energy, guys. Energy, bam. Guys, 18 of the companies are advancing, only 3 are declining out of a total of 21. And here are all of those companies right here, the 21 tickers for those companies, if you wanted to check those out. Okay, all right, let's go back to the Analyze tab. Company profile. Here's the official company name, Targa Resources Corporation. Here's a link to their website. Also down in the description for your convenience. Targa Resources Corporation, together with its subsidiaries, owns, operates, acquires, and develops a portfolio of complementary domestic infrastructure assets in North America. Got it. All right. Put me back on the screen. Take that down. Pull up their website, guys, and we're good. And I browsed over them earlier as well. They didn't have a lot of stuff on their website as well either. So let's go over it one more time and see what we can find. There's the stock information hiding up here all teeny tiny at the top of the screen. So we at least see that, and it looks like a hyperlink, so we might be able to click that. So I'm seeing that now. So if we go to About Us is a hyperlink, so we can use that. Investors is also a hyperlink, and Careers. So everywhere we need to go is right here at the top, but we're going to browse over this page, and then we'll get to it, guys, okay? Sustainability. Targa Resources releases 2024 Sustainability Report. Advancing through energy, pipeline safety, latest news. Energy to deliver. Targa is a leading provider of midstream services and is one of the largest independent infrastructure companies in North America. We own, operate, acquire, and develop a diversified portfolio of complementary infrastructure assets, safely delivering energy sustainability. Press releases, events, and presentations. Guys, we're at the bottom of the page, believe it or not. So I'm going to take me off the screen right here at the bottom where it says About Us. Okay, About Us, put me back. Targa is a leading provider of midstream services that look like the same thing we just read. Footprint in multiple shale resource plays, leading position in Mont Belvieu. I think that's how you pronounce that. Targa investment highlights. Okay, so we went through that. Now we are going to go to careers, guys. Careers overview. Grow with an industry leader. As a growth-oriented provider of midstream natural gas and NGL services and one of the largest independent midstream energy companies in the country, Targa offers a dynamic work environment where you can learn, develop, and grow. Got it. Career opportunities. So guys, these are the different departments. field operations, engineering and construction, environmental safety and health, accounting and finance, information technology and administration. Early career development. Guys, I didn't see anything on this website about benefits. I already dug through that. So let's go ahead and go to investors. So when we go to investors, again, we have the stock quote right here. Well, it's real small at the top of the screen. We're going to dig. Here it is. They do have a link for it. So let's read. We already read this. Yeah. They keep repeating that. We almost made a mistake and read it again. All right, so here we go, guys. Stock info. Let's just keep it moving. Here's the stock quote. Here's the stock chart. We good. Let's go ahead and move on. So here we go. CAM. Okay, and let's talk about the company, what we found in the research or what we have in the research about the company. So biggest gainer, Targa. Targa Resources Corporation, ticker TRGP. When it comes to their goods and services, guys, they manage midstream energy infrastructure and logistics across the natural gas liquids, and crude oil markets, offering solutions such as, number one, complete natural gas gathering options, including pipeline transport and field compression for upstream energy producers. Something in here is going to give me a tough time, so bear with me. Number two, scalable NGL processing products, including ethane, propane, and butane fractionation for petrochemical refiners. I did pretty good, okay? And number three, optimized bulk terminaling systems tailored for marine storage, pipeline distribution, and global export. Looking at the S&P 500 clients and partners, notable names include ExxonMobil Corporation, ticker XOM, Chevron Corporation, ticker CVX, and ConocoPhillips, ticker COP. Now let's look at Targa Resources on the charts, all right? So let's go ahead and go back to the chart. So we got this, bam, bam, we got the chat. Yeah, guys, we're good. All right, charts. My mouth is dry. Give me a second. Better. All right, guys, take me off the screen because I'm blocking it. So here we go. We have Targa Resources Corporation in the symbol box. We are looking at a 1-year daily chart. They have a 52-week low of $144.14 and a 52-week high of $305.08. Looks like they gapped up. We'll get to that in a second. They closed today at $297.77. Okay, so now what we're about to do, guys, we're about to look at a higher time frame. So now we are looking at a 10-year weekly chart for Targa Resources Corporation. Here's 2016, so we do have 10 years. They have a 10-year low of $3.66 and a 10-year high of $305.08. Guys, I'm interested to know what percentage change is that. I got to see before we go any further. Give me a second. Trend line. So we need 366 to that. Let me check the properties. 366 to 305.08. Okay, yep. Guys, that's over an 8,000% return in a matter of 2,345 days. So how many months is that? Let me break out my calculator. I'm interested. This is fascinating to me. That's a heck of a return on an investment. Matter of fact, we're going to do something with that once we find out how much time that is. Matter of fact, we don't even have to do that. We can see that based off of where it's chopped up at. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 7 years. So that's about 7 years. Remember how earlier we were using, what, $7,200? So $7,200. And the percentage return was 82.3. No, it's not 82. Give me a second. Times 82.35. I don't know why I kept wanting to say 0.52. Now we need to change that to the percent. Oh my gosh, guys. $7,200 with that. Let me read it. It changed it. 8,235% return would have been over $500,000 just off of a $7,200 investment. That's crazy, guys. In a matter of 7 years. All right, so we got that. Based on what the price action is right now, guys, We really don't need to do much on this higher time frame, but we can zoom in and look at something. Let me remove the drawing. Let's go ahead and zoom in, but I do want to make sure we get this before we move on. The 9-week simple moving average, guys, is at $274.43. Our 200-week simple moving average is coming in at $146.10. It's all the way down here. All right. Now on this higher time frame, this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing this price level as support right here. Now it's not clean because these wicks on these weeks didn't actually come all the way down to it. So if I want it to be exact, this is the way I would do it. I would remove this price level and I would connect using the rectangle tool, this high to this low of that week. And now that's going to give me a support zone. Edit properties. That's the top of the zone at $257.50. And the low of that zone is exactly $250, which is the psychological price level. Change that color to this. Extend that out to January 1st, 2027. Click OK. Get us some price levels so we'll know the top and bottom of that zone. There's the bottom. And there's the top. Now those are going to be based off weeks as well. And now you can see those price levels without having to open up that box. Okay. And it looks like those weeks were trading within a zone. Like they just were consolidating for a few weeks. So that looks like it's around 275, guys. Yep. 275.58. And it's using it as support and resistance. So I'm liking that on the higher time frame. Okay. And then down here, so that's what I'm getting on the higher time frame as far as supports and resistance, guys. Now we can go back to our lower time frame. So now we're back on a 1 year daily chart. Look at how that's responding to what we did on the higher time frame, guys. That is clean. And let's extend this over to the left. So let's extend that over to January 1st, 2026. That's enough to see. Look how these days are responding to that. That is beautiful. Okay, and then we have the 200-day simple moving average about to cross this area of support at $231, okay? So our 9-day simple moving average is at $271.53. Our 200-day simple moving average is at $229.61. Now, let's bring this down, take that stuff off, and let's zoom in. Let's zoom in, and let's go ahead and highlight this gap that happened. They had earnings on August 6th before the market opened. And they look like they went down to test support the following day. And they've been uptrending ever since. And then today, they ended up having a gap up. So let's go ahead and see what happened there. First thing we're going to do, we're going to identify this gap. Bam. So we got the high of today, the low of today and the high of Monday. Edit properties, extend this over to, you guessed it, January 1st, 2027. Bam. I'm going to put the price level for the top, but not the bottom because it's going to be so close to the price level we already have. So I don't want to bunch it up, but I'll put this one here. And notice that's also close to potential resistance. Will form a resistance over here from this high on this candle. So that was on July 24th. So $291.40. They had a high today of $305.08. Let's pull this down. Let's pull this down. Yep. And that's that 52-week high. Yeah, guys. So those are our technicals for Targa Resources Corporation. I believe that's good enough. We have a couple areas of support. Being so the price is all the way up here, guys, we don't have sky's the limit as far as resistance unless we look at the higher time frame. And guys, this is the 10-year high. So like I said, sky's the limit. So we don't have any more areas of resistance, but we have areas of support. And just to give you that price level, because I didn't put the price level down at the bottom, the low of that gap is $278.10. Okay. Is there anything I'm missing? No. I don't believe so. So let's go ahead and get our stock quote for Targa Resources Corporation. Apply. Okay. So Targa opened today at $293.41. They had a high of $305.08. They had a low of $291.40, and they closed today at $297.77, which is a trading range of $13.68. Now, when we look at the volume, guys, they traded 2.4 million shares of this stock today. Is that a big deal? Is that a little deal? We about to find out. Go to settings, cut off the floating data box, go over here, and we can see that the average trading volume in a daily trading session for Targa Resources is 1.3 million shares. They did 2.4 million, so that's definitely above average, nearly double compared to what they normally do. And here is the candle for Monday, and they traded 1.1 million, so that was below average on Monday, but we definitely see the volume is increasing. So this is what I wanted to do, but we'll do that right after we finish this up. Let me put me back on the screen. Let's talk about the volume percentile, guys. So out of the most recent 252 trading days, when it comes to their volume, today's volume was higher than 96.4% of those 252 trading days. To be exact, only 9 of those days had higher volume than today. So this is what I want to do. Normally, yeah. So this is what I want to do. We can use Thinkorswim to get the news about, you know, what actually caused this gap. So right over here, if we link this to Targa, all of the news that came up associated with it would be right there. But I found that can be a headache digging through that. So what I like to do, I just like to use just use AI. So let me go here, take that down. I'm gonna pull up AI and I'm gonna ask it, you know, was it a catalyst for today that caused that gap? Was there a catalyst that caused that gap up today for Targa? So yeah, let me go ahead and do that, and I'll bring you over so you can see it. Blow that up. Here we go. I'm gonna bring you over now. So here we go. Was there a for TRGA? Nope. P. That caused. And that was yesterday, because now it's after 12. Let's see what we get, guys. The gap up in Targa Resources on Monday, August 18th. Why is it saying Monday? I should say Tuesday. See how AI be messing up? No. You know what? It might be on a different time frame. Let me just read and see what it says. Wall Street price target upgrades. Goldman Sachs boosted its price target on TRGP from $242 to $268. Where did they close at today? $297. $297, while reiterating a buy rating, citing favorable positioning in Permian midstream infrastructure. Institutional inflow reports. Take me off the screen. Continued momentum from earnings and expansion. TRGP continued to benefit from strong follow-through following record Q2 Permian gas volume updates, higher full-year EBITDA guidance, and commercial long-term midstream agreements. Being as so they said the wrong day, I'm going to correct it and see what it says. What is going on? Now, when I look over here, it's using the right date, but it's saying Monday. It was Tuesday, August 18th. Not Monday. Now it's something different. You see that? Boy, man, AI get on my nerves. Man, I'm telling you, oh my gosh. 20-year ExxonMobil agreement. Targa announced the new 20-year fee-based integrated midstream contracts with ExxonMobil covering gathering. Okay. So it was a major announcement, guys. That was the catalyst with ExxonMobil. Okay, so let's go back to the charts and let me do my thing where I normally be like, guess what? We done. So we can go ahead and move on, guys. So let's go here and wrap up the show. So here we go. Bam, bam, bam. Bam. All right, guys, you already know. I hope that you learned something and I hope that you earned something. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. Shouts out to Kenny Warren, Tonight Bella, Michael Anthony. Thank you guys for chatting and tuning in tonight. This Sunday, August 23rd at 9 p.m. Eastern time, we're reviewing this week's biggest gainers and losers, market sentiment, market volatility, and the S&P sector performance, and creating a watch list for upcoming earnings. And make sure you keep tuning in weekdays following a market trading session at 11 p.m. Eastern time. Take care and God bless.